Yes, I think of you as a long-term client, I guess, short-term tenant.
That's right.
Right. So, one of the things that I think sometimes gets confusing about ACEnet is we work with entrepreneurs in a lot of different sectors. And one of our goals always for the Women in Business Conference is to really reflect all the different sectors that women entrepreneurs are working in. So I know, Michelle, you have a PowerPoint here. I can help you advance maybe the PDF. Yes, if you would like to do that. I think I can handle that task. But maybe start out just introducing yourself.
Sure. That's all part of the slideshow. So I am a tenant at the Athens ACEnet campus. I have, to go with what Hannah was saying, I have many peaks and valleys. I call them pivot points. So I have pivoted many, many times throughout my career. And my latest pivot has been in acupuncture. And I am extremely excited to be here today to be able to chat with you about acupuncture, to give you some tips on how you can incorporate acupressure and breathing in your own day, and to talk to you a little bit more about acupuncture in general and how I've used that in my own kind of self-care routine and with other women. Because as women, right, we hold up the world. And sometimes, as Hannah said earlier, self-care is important, but we don't actually take the time for that self-care. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So we're going to go to the next slide. So this is about me. Inhale Wellness Studio is my business. If you know me or have known me in the region, I've been here since 2007, and it used to be called Inhale Yoga Studio. That was my first career in this career of wellness that I've been on since 2003. And as I age and my body ages, it gets a little bit harder to do the things that I did when I was women. So I thought, what do I do to stay in a career that allows me to be in a helping profession in an alternative medicine way? And acupuncture came onto the scene for me, and so I pivoted. I went to school, and I spent all of COVID in school. So it was a great use of my time. When my yoga and massage business was tanking because it couldn't be around anyone, I was already at a pivot point and studying for acupuncture. And so that was a really great use of my time during real uncertainty, right? It gave me a little bit of grounding and a little bit of focus. Acupuncture is an Ohio medical board licensed field. So it is a medical field. It's not just some, at least in Ohio, you can't just go sticking around sticking needles in people just because you want to. So I do hold the Ohio medical board license as an acupuncturist. I also, from my past life, but still is part of who I am and what I do, am an International Association of Yoga Therapists, certified yoga therapist as well. So I incorporate that into the work that I do, especially with my pain clients. People who are suffering from pain, and a Thai massage practitioner, which obviously there's a typo, but a Thai massage practitioner as well. I incorporate a little bit of Chinese massage as well into that now that I have the training in that. As I said, I'm an ACEnet tenant at the Athens campus, and so that's a little bit about me. Now here's some cool stuff. I want to start with the story. That's okay. Keep going. There we go. There we go. So it's 2:30 a.m. You just went to bed 2 hours ago. You have a big day tomorrow. And here you are. It's 2:30 a.m. and you're wide awake. Your mind is racing. You're thinking about all the things you didn't get done today, all the things you need to do tomorrow. Kids need to be here. This, that, right? Your mind's going crazy. It's 2:30. You're like, oh my God. How am I going to fall asleep? I'm like, how am I going to be rested enough? How am I going to have the energy to do what I need to do, right? Somehow, by some grace of God, you manage to fall asleep somewhere around 4:30-ish, just in time for your alarm to go off at 6 a.m. You wake up, you're groggy, but obligation, responsibility pull you out of bed. You get up, you get the breakfast, you feed the kids, you make the food, you pack the lunches, you cart everybody off to wherever it is that they need to go. You drag yourself into whatever your job is, self-employed or otherwise, You caffeinate some more, probably the dirty girl. You caffeinate some more to make enough energy, enough power in your body to get yourself through this magnificent day that you have to do. You take your lunch, probably eating at your desk. Maybe you go and run somewhere and grab something and eat it in the car on the way back. You get back, you hustle some more, about 2:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, you get that slump where you gotta get some more coffee. Because you know in about an hour, hour and a half, you're heading out to pick up the kids because one of them's going to sports and one of them's going to their music lesson and another one's going here. And oh, by the way, you've got that board meeting tonight, so you have to get somebody to come and help you out with kid pickup or dinner. You get home, exhausted, but you still have laundry, dishes, cleanup, homework, husband, partner, maybe. 10:30-ish rolls around, and you want to collapse, but everyone is finally giving you some space. Everyone's in bed-ish. They're out of your hair. And you're like, oh, thank God, I have some time to fold the laundry or do the things that are still on that magnificently long task list that we give ourselves every single day, right? But you're exhausted. And all you want is a break. So instead of doing all the things that you need to do on that list, you sit down on the couch, you pick up your cell phone, and you start scrolling the social medias until about midnight-ish. And then you're like, oh, I gotta go to bed because I'll think. And then midnight comes, you jump into bed, you fall asleep, and 2:30 rises again, and you wake up and start that cycle all over. Does this story sound familiar to any of you? Yeah. This is kind of the story of the modern day woman, right? This is what we do. We hold up the world. We constantly are on the go. We're using caffeine. I forgot to mention somewhere in there alcohol, somewhere around dinner, right? Somewhere around dinner, we put the coffee away. We go to Athens Uncorked and grab us some wine there, or we have something at home. We have a couple glasses of wine because our culture also tells us, slaying women drink wine. So we have wine. So we caffeinate in the morning throughout the day to have the power we need. And then at the evening, we throw in some wine or a cocktail or something to power down. And we wake up at 2:30 in the morning. Totally freaked out. Starting that whole racing mind all over again. And we're exhausted. Right? We're running around exhausted. If you could do the next slide for me. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is that way. This is what we look like. All the things. This is the nature of being a woman, right? We're a businesswoman, we're a mother, we're a finance accountant of our home, we're all the things, right? We're carrying all the hats. I've heard many of you say the gazillion hats that you wear, right? We're wired and tired all the time. That creates anxiety, overwhelm, feelings of guilt and disappointment, exhaustion, diet problems, digestive issues, menstrual cycle problems. The list just goes on and on and on. Can you feel what I'm putting down here? Right? She's like, yeah, I wish you hadn't given me that story. Now I'm wired again. Right? So this is it. This is what we do. Next slide, please. All we do is we want relaxation. We want time off. We want to just put it down for a minute, but there never seems to be a minute to do so. So I'm here today to talk to you about how it's time to restore harmony through your body so that for a few moments anyway, you can put it down and you can give your body more power to be able to juggle all of those hats that you wear. And I'm going to talk about how acupuncture can do that for you. And also, a little bit later in this presentation, some ways in which you can use some points to help you with some common things that this wired, tired, modern day woman kind of has on a daily or fairly regular basis. Next slide, please. So let's start with, what is acupuncture? How many of you have ever had acupuncture? Okay. So a lot of you haven't. Acupuncture is, I like to talk about it highway systems. This is the way I like to explain it because it makes the most sense to me anyway. I could talk to you about what Chinese medicine has to say about it and all of that, but I'm more of a storyteller instead of a intellect programmer. So here's what I think about acupuncture. Here's what it is. Our body is composed of multiple highways, and those multiple highways run different systems in our body. Our mind, our digestion, our energy, things like that. Think about when you're traveling and you're on a highway, the traffic is flowing smoothly, you're getting where you need to go, there's not a problem at all, right? This is what our body is supposed to be like. We're supposed to be on a smooth flowing highway. Chinese medicine, we call that qi. Qi is moving slowly through your body, so we feel resilient, we feel harmony and balance, we feel empowered, not wired and tired, right? So when you're on that highway and traveling along, everything's great. All of a sudden you're on that highway and you're traveling and traffic starts to slow down and get more and more cars closer and closer together. And immediately when I say that, you can feel in your body the way that feels to you, right? Suddenly you're like, dang it, and you get all kind of clogged up inside, right? Your mind gets clogged up, you start worrying, am I going to get where I'm going in time? How long am I going to sit here, right? All of that. In Chinese medicine, we call that stagnation. When there's a problem in the highway and everything starts to congest up, we get stagnation. When stagnation appears, then that is pain. So how many of you have neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, constipation, right? Stagnation. This is what happens when we're overwired, overtired. The traffic's not flowing smoothly anywhere, and whatever system is taking the biggest hit is where everything is starting to get congested. And then the body is brilliant. It says to us, hey, there's a problem here. And it does that by throwing pain at us, or constipation, or menstrual issues, or anxiety, or depression, right? All of those things, we take all that on as normal. It's just a normal operation of being a woman in today's times. It is not normal. It is your body saying to you, traffic is flowing poorly. We have a problem over here on East State Street 50 or Stimson Avenue, right? We have problems like that everywhere. So that's your body saying to you, it's giving you that heads up. Hey, we have a problem here. It could be that there's a pothole that needs to be filled. It could be that there's construction going on that needs to be cleared, or a new route needs to be found. But ultimately, all those things that we feel and experience that we classify in that place of normal is the body doing what it's meant to do and say, hey, we lost harmony. There's a problem here. Can we stop for a minute? It is the body calling for us to stop. Can we stop for a minute? And can we recalibrate? Can we see if we can fill in a pothole? That's a deficiency. There's something missing that should be there. Can we fill in this deficiency? Or there's construction and everything slowed down, and so now we've got a stagnation. Can we clear the construction so that traffic flows smoothly again? So that's what we do in acupuncture. Oh, I haven't said those things yet. That's what we do in acupuncture. My job in acupuncture is to figure out where's the deficiency so that I can fill the pothole for you or help you. It's not my job, it's your job, but together we work on that. Fill the pothole. Or where is the traffic slowing down? Where's the stagnation? How can I move that out of the way for you and get things flowing smoothly again? And that's what acupuncture does. I use tiny little needles to do that. I also use things like cups. So I use cupping, I use washovers, little scraping tools, ear seeds. There's all kinds of things in my toolkit. And as I mentioned before, because yoga therapy and massage are part of my background as well, I bring to my acupuncture a skill set that most acupuncturists don't have. So today what I did in this kind of conversation is I thought about the modern wired, tired woman and what are some of the big things that she has to deal with. And I would say probably headaches is one of the highest on that list. How many of you have like regular headaches or migraines that you have to deal with them? Yeah. It's a big deal. So these are actually points that I would use depending on your headache. But there are points that you can use on yourself. And so we're going to do a little like work together on this. So on the hand is a point. I always refer to them as numbers. I like 4 because it's easier. But if you hold your hand up, either one, an L or a backwards L, you have the knuckle at the base of the index finger and where that meets with the thumb. Partly in between there. If you feel around in there, hands in both hands and microphone. So if you feel around in there, push your thumb and finger like that, you'll probably feel a tender spot that gets a little bit ouchy. This is a great headache point. You're having a headache, your shoes. This is a great one. And you squeeze and just kind of circle it around in there about 100 times. You're like, 100, that's a lot. It's fine. You'll be okay. Keeps you from social media scrolling. Just do that. This is a great headache point. In Chinese medicine, it's the command of all things head and face. So if there's a headache, runny nose, you're sneezing a lot, your eyes are having problems, this is a great point for that. And you can just squeeze, roll around 100 times or so. And you'll feel like when it's tender, it tells you it needs attention. So that's a really great one. Another one, a lot of people have tension headaches. Start at the base of the skull. Think about yourself sitting at your computer and your head's way forward like this. You're looking up and all that pressure is locking down right at the base of your skull. It's locking down right here on these points. These points are really interesting because they're right over the muscles that control the eyes. So, well, actually, they don't control the eyes. They control the head and what the head is doing because of what the eyes are doing. So if the eyes are looking, they tell the head to do whatever to look the way that you want. So if you actually put your hands on the back of your head, there's these two kind of lines that run up here, and just on the side of that is where we're talking about. You'll feel a little dippy spot up in there. If you close your eyes and imagine that you look to the left and look to the right, when you look to the left or look to the right, you'll actually feel muscles move underneath your fingers as you're touching back there. Can you feel that? Pretty well. But those points are for headaches that start from tension back there. Same thing. If you put your fingers back in there, give a little massage back in there, how many of you do that naturally? Like our body is naturally making its way toward harmony just by our own intuition, right? You get something going on back here. You can't imagine the number of people go, I have shoulder pain, and they're over here massaging their shoulder, right? We're already making our way toward harmony in where some of these key acupuncture points is. That headache that we get on the side of the head, that temporal headache, we're already massaging that, right? When the headache's coming out, oh, that headache, I just need a minute, right? Last point, that one on the side of the head, that's the headache that's stress, too much pressure, overwork. Oh, people get on your nerves. That's that headache. It's the you got on my nerves headache. Again, we naturally move toward that, but you can use that therapeutically to help. And these are points that I would use in acupuncture depending on what's pushing your headache. Okay, let's go to the next slide. These are good ones. Anybody in this room not have anxiety, overwhelm, stress? I don't think so. Right. Modern day women, we always have this, right? We're always in this. Feels like tightness on the chest, tight shoulders. Again, that headache. People are on my nerves. the best thing we can do for ourselves is pretty much right in the center of the breast. And I use that term loosely because some of us, they're up here, and some of us are in a stage of our life where they're down here. So it's the center chest. So in the center chest, again, if you go down the sternum, you'll find in there a place that's pretty tender. And again, press and circle, and that helps to relieve the pressure on the chest. It helps to open up the chest. In conjunction with that, we can add on this other point. You guys might know this as a nausea point, especially if you've ever had a baby and had morning sickness. You might have been told by someone, find on your wrist here and massage. You can go to any market now and get these little wristbands that have magnets or other things on them. This is because this is a nausea point too, but it's also a point to calm the mind and open the chest. And also, if you think about when we're overwired, overtired, overwhelmed, there is a bit of nausea that happens, right? We're feeling sick, like we don't want to eat. We feel that pressure. So this one is a great one, and the way to find it is super easy. Take one hand. I need the 4 hands of that lady. Take one hand, this width of your hand, find the other wrist, put that up against the wrist, and where your pinky lands, in between those 2 tendons is that point. Again, it might be tender on you. So you press in and move around like that in circles about 100 times. Also, really fantastic for those of you who are always riding the desk on a computer and deal with that carpal tunnel stuff. Another local point for that carpal tunnel stuff. So you can feel in and around there. And these will help to calm anxiety, overwhelm, stress, open the chest, and that feeling that it has on the body. In the kind of brief moment that you attune to it. Okay, next slide, please. And my favorite, this is where I land most of the time. You're like, you're always so joyful. If you know me, you're like, you? No. Irritability, anger, and frustration. A long lineage of women in my family have led me to irritability, anger, and frustration. This is the blood that sings in our veins. So these are the points that I actually use a lot. And again, you can self-massage these. If you have a shoe that's easy to take off, you can do that. But in the picture, it's pretty simple. If you slide right between the 2 toes, the bones, you'll see there's a little dippy spot. Go all the way up. There's no doubt a tender point there. As soon as you push into that, you're going to be like, oh my dear God, welcome to irritability, anger, and frustration. This is where your body holds it. This is also how I clean it up. And then that place where you feel like you're going to pop your top, it just all gets so overwhelming that it feels like your head is going to explode. Sometimes there's dizziness. Sometimes there's vision issues, right? The world just feels, you feel out of body. That's this point. When things are so overwhelming that you feel like you're going to blow your head and you feel out of body, on the bottom of the foot, right underneath the toenail pad, right in the center, is this point, and it's the most grounding point in the body. It's the lowest point in the body too, which makes it the most grounding. So if you ever feel like you're going to pop your top, it's a good idea to kick off your shoes, get your hands on your feet, and start to massage a little bit around that place. And you can do the next slide. I kind of rushed through this because I don't want to take up all the time. I want time for networking. But we talked about this. So here's how to apply acupressure. So as we did, you feel along the bones, you find that tender spot, and then you squeeze and kind of roll your fingers around in that tender spot to massage it. That stimulates the point, which sends a ripple effect out that allows your body to take notice that you notice that something is wrong. And in that noticing of something wrong and you making an effort toward feeling better, your body decompresses out of the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight where you're like go, 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 and it pops down into the parasympathetic nervous system, and you take a few minutes to just calm, which is all what we're seeking. And honestly, those 2 minutes that you might take to be with a point, to take a moment to calm, is sometimes as good as a glass of wine. It gives you that minute to just pause, to stop being reactive, and to start being proactive. So we massage those. If we want to power that up even more, we can combine that with a breath practice, and it's a little bit harder to do, but say you're massaging your LF4 point here because you have a headache. If you combine that with breath, it takes a few rounds to get into it. But what you do is you inhale for 4 breaths, and then you pause and hold the breath for 7 seconds. And then at that 7 seconds, you exhale for 8 seconds. Slow exhale. This is all telling the parasympathetic nervous system, hey, come online again. It's telling the sympathetic nervous system, chill out. It's not that bad. There's not a saber-toothed tiger chasing us, even though it feels like it. All right. So I would like for you, you can just like sit and feel the room, or you can do this with us either way. Eyes open, eyes closed. It doesn't matter. Your comfort level. Let's do a couple rounds of this breath. And if there's a point that we talked about that you're like, ooh, I'm going to power it up with that, feel free to go for that point too. You can massage the chest or the head. It's fine. So for a couple minutes, not even a couple minutes, a couple rounds of breath. What you're going to find when we do this inhale, it's faster than the hold or the exhale. You have to get the breath in because you only got 4 seconds to do that. And then you gotta hold it. So what you're gonna find is in those 7 seconds that we're holding and the 8 seconds that we're exhaling for the first couple times, is that you don't feel like you feel like you need to breathe out faster. That's that sympathetic nervous system saying, we're freaking out, take breath. Try to slow down. Each time that you take a breath in, you'll become better at creating the capacity that you need so that that 7 seconds can be there for the hold, and then 8 seconds can be there for the exhale. So don't get down on yourself the first couple of times if you're like, oh my God, I'm panicking. It's fine. Everybody does it. Okay? So here we go. First things first, breathe all the breath out. And then we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe in again for 4, 3, 2, 1, and now hold your breath for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out slowly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just let your breath return to normal. Pause, notice what you feel like. Maybe you're still in that panic from the breath holding and trying to organize that out, so you need to do more. But maybe for a moment you tapped into something. Ooh, I saw a yawn back there. You tapped into something. Maybe for a moment you tapped into something that felt more grounded. You felt more embodied, calm. Just a moment to yourself. even in this room of people, right? It's harder to do in a group of people that you don't know. But you get I hope you get a feel for how that can be an important tool. What I like to do when I'm in overwhelm is just set a timer for like 15 seconds. And then just do a cycle of breath. Set a timer for 1 minute. Do the cycle of breath. It's such a limited period of time, it goes so fast. But you feel like it takes forever in that minute. And that's what we're getting at. We want time to slow down. That's what acupuncture and acupressure can do for you. It's what breath can do for you. It's what giving into the call of your body can do for you. Your body says pause. 1 minute can feel like 1 day if you pause with attention a minute. Does that make sense? Can I have the next slide, please? So, my question to you is, isn't it time to move from that lady with all the hands, the lady at the desk holding her head, to a happier woman, networking with her friends, hanging out with people, feeling relaxed and smiling more? Isn't it time? Don't we owe that? Don't we owe that to ourselves in this modern day place of being a woman? I think we do. I'm trying to craft my life that way, not just tell you to craft your life that way. I think we do. I think we owe this, more of this, to ourselves. I think the more of this we give to ourselves, the more amazing we can give of ourselves in every other aspect of our life. But I think without this, we're a wired, tired woman who's never really checking the tasks off the list, who's never really feeling good about what it is that she's putting out there into the world. And I think, from the stories that I heard, from a little bit you shared, that every one of us has magical things to be putting out there in the world, but we keep getting in our way with all those high expectations, that giant list, and never letting ourselves be this woman. Because this is the woman who's actually going to change the world, not the other one. Right? So, if you want to talk about how acupuncture can help, how I can help, I would love to chat with you about that. I would love to help you find her in you. And I'd love to help you find a way to maintain the feeling of her, even when you have to be that lady with all the hands, even when you are that lady with your head on your hands because this project is overwhelming. I'd like to help you figure out how she can still be in that, to create a space of resiliency, so that as you move through life, you feel that it's easier to get back to that place of being a little more calm in the storm. Next slide. I think it just says something. It does. Thank you. This is my contact info. In your bags also are brochures for my work and contact information for me. But also I wanted to say, are there any questions? Anything that you're burning to know? I think I have a little bit of time still left, don't I? Yes. So any questions about acupuncture, about breathing, about me, about anything?
I have one.
Yeah, Jen.
Yeah, so if I rub my feet with a tennis ball or if I do something like that, do you do anything wrong, or are you specifically supposed to do like those target points? Is like a little massage of some sort better than no massage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so her question was if she's using a tennis ball on her feet or any of these other areas, can you do anything wrong? Or is a little bit of massage better than none at all? And the answer is yes, a little bit is better than none at all, and no, you can't do anything wrong. I guess I'll caveat that no, you can't do anything wrong. If you have a herniated disc and you're lying over some racquetballs, and it feels really painful and sharp and stabby, yes, you're doing something wrong. That's your body saying, whoa, there's a warning sign here. And again, as a modern day woman, we think more is better. more pain means more gain. It's not true. So anything, I tell people when I'm working with them on the acupuncture table, and even massage and cupping, if it feels sharp and stabby, if it burns, if it sends a nerve twinge down your body, not good. If it feels a little dull and achy, or like sensations of cool or warmth have happened, not a bad thing. Things are moving now. Karen.
When you decide between acupuncture or needle and cupping, actually I know that cupping is part of acupuncture, so I'm actually interested in doing something that I
Yeah.
decide between the two or doing that in conjunction.
Okay, great question. So Karen's asking, how do you decide whether or not you want to just have cupping done or acupuncture or both? And so with me, it's a process. We talk about it. Generally, if you're coming to see me for things like upper back, neck, and shoulder pain that are being pushed by anxiety, stress, and overwhelm, I say, let's do both. And I will do cupping to help release the muscle tension and get things flowing. That's the stagnation, that's the construction, or the slowing down of traffic, right? So I'll do cupping to get that, and then usually I'll flip you over and I'll do needles to address the root. We call it root and branch treatment. Root is what's causing the problem. Branch is how we're feeling it in the body.
And do you do reflexology as well?
I don't. I wasn't trained in reflexology. I mean, I do massage work on feet, but I won't call that reflexology because I have zero knowledge about that. Yeah. Yeah. I do. Yeah. So the question was, do I have clients that come for infertility? I do, and it's actually some of my favorite work. Sometimes I'm doing work to help people balance their body to be able to get pregnant. Sometimes I'm doing it in conjunction with supporting IVF or IUI treatments or things like that. Generally, with acupuncture and fertility, what's happening there, again, is there's usually a deficiency, sometimes a stagnation, but mostly a deficiency. It's a long, interesting thing to talk about. But basically what I'm trying to do is find out where's the problem. I have an extensive questionnaire for it. Where's the problem? And then I, most of the time, am nourishing yin, because pregnancy is mostly about yin. We want to be really juicy and create like a really warm, beautiful atmosphere for a baby to want to hang out in. And so that's what I do with acupuncture. And I might use things like, there's an herb that we burn, and so I might actually put that on the needle around the belly as we're trying to warm the uterus, warm the area. This is my favorite work. But different things like that. So it's dependent, all the acupuncture, no matter for fertility or otherwise, is dependent on the person. Each of us might feel that we have a headache, but that might present in the front, the side, the back. It might come for other reasons. The same is true with fertility. That might be because there's a lack of yin. It might be because there's too much yang. It might be the stress that's creating inhospitability. And so we work on all of that, again, root branch. Yeah.
Did you say you did scraping as well?
Yeah, it's called gua sha in Chinese medicine. There's also in like the world of chiropractic, I think it's called Grafton. But it's different tools. I wish I would have brought my shine felt today. But it's different tools. Some of them look like butter knives. Some of them look like hearts made out of jade or metal. Some people in the old days they used to use and still do candy jar lids. And so it is another way to kind of clean out the traffic jam and move the stagnation and get fresh blood, fresh chi, energy moving there so that everything relaxes and feels super spectacular again. Yeah, and then it depends. I use that a lot with my massage clients. I put it in sometimes with acupuncture, but I actually prefer to use cups if I'm doing acupuncture. It works the same way. It's just a little bit stronger than the scraping things. Exactly. Yeah, and it helps my thumbs. Normally in that sense, people will trigger point and use their thumbs. I'd like to not have arthritis when I'm 65 65. So I want to use other things to keep me from doing that. Did I see one of you? Yeah. Oh, scraping everywhere. Yeah, it depends on who I'm working with. So I will do scraping or cupping. Mostly everywhere. Yeah. There's some areas maybe I won't, but it's me, so it's probably I will. Anything else that you want to know?
Well, this was wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks.
So let's give a big
I'll hang out for a little bit. If you want to talk to me privately, please feel free to come chat with me. I did bring my calendar, so if you are like, oh my gosh, I want to schedule with her, do it now. I'm scheduling the 3rd and 4th week of June now. I'm always booked about 4 weeks in advance. So if you were thinking about starting acupuncture with me anyway, you'll have to wait for a little bit, but it's better to get there now and just wait. And I brought with me some little coupons that aren't in your thing, so that it gives you $10 off your first treatment with me. So if you are thinking about it, even if you're not thinking about it soon, please see me so you can grab one of those and have that too, okay? Thanks so much for having me, Larry, Leslie, Megan, who's not here. Thanks so much for having me, for inviting me, and for letting me share this with you.
So if you need a break, it's fine. Feel like if you need to get up and walk around or stretch or take a bio break. But now we're going to do a short ACEnet infomercial. And I'm going to hand the mic over to Larry. And he's going to talk about our IDA program.
First, I always wondered why when Michelle comes to my office, she always has her shoes off and she's grabbing her feet. I never had put that together until just now. She's always pinching between her toes. I'm like, evidently I'm causing a problem. So now I know. And now I know how to chill my wife out when she needs to relax.
Put massager.
Yeah, she just saw Jill for the massage, so I may have to have you come and stick her with needles. I've done that with voodoo dolls before, but I don't think it's the same.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, Stephanie and I were sharing comments about voodoo dolls, so
I think that's the dark side of that.
that probably is. Well, what I want to share a little bit, and then we'll have Avery kind of tell you a little bit about what she does for us at ACEnet. But this year, we're going back to something that has been around in micro-business economic development for probably generations, but it is making its return at ACEnet. And it's called what they call an IDA account, an individual development account. And we have partnered this year through the Ohio Department of Development and our partners in Columbus with Merchants National Bank over on Stimson and with Christ Lutheran Church to put together a program to help 5 low-income businesses who are trying to get their LLC, get themselves organized with the state, and then have some resources, financial resources to help launch their business and to even expand. If they've already got their LLC, maybe they need a better business plan, maybe they need to do a canvas and figure out what's the next step. And you're basically 200% times the poverty level for a single person, just under 30,000, around 29,000 is what it takes to qualify. For a family of 2, I think it's just somewhere in the $37,000 range. But if you're in that income range and you're trying to get your business started, we have, through their support, we have 5 spots this year. We've already taken applications for 2 that we've started. We've got 3 on the way, so I've got just a few more. But I just wanted to share this with you. If it's something that is of interest, we're willing to continue to talk to our partners to expand it. But what happens is we set up a savings account, a joint savings account that is in the name of the person, the business, and then I'm the other responsible party. I'm not responsible. So, and you basically over a few months put $250 into a savings account. And then you go through, during that time, you go through the financial training classes with ACEnet staff, with merchants as well. And we do some training one-on-one. We help get the business plan, help work through LLCs. And at the end of that sessions, which sometimes takes, could take 6 to 8 weeks, When everything is completed, we have our partnership through the state puts $2,000 into a business account. And then merchants is matching for the first five $1,000 as well. And then the state's doing 4, and through Christ Lutheran Church we were able to add our 5th person, so we could do 5 this year. And so basically it's providing economic business coaching, things that we do normally with startup businesses, but this is a way that that business can get $3,000 put into a bank account, and then we transfer the $250 that you saved into that same business account. And so you have $3,250 to spend on your business for asset building. That is to build assets, right? So if you're a photographer and you're trying to start, this could be the equipment you need. If you're thinking about landscaping, that could be that. If you're baking and you're thinking about cooking and using your culinary skills, you know, how do I get my pots and pans? How do I buy this? How do I buy that? This gives that $3,250 as that seed money. And then we're looking at partnering with economic development here in Athens County. You have to be an Athens County person, just so you know. That's one of the, we're limited in our geography with this program. But it's in Athens County, so your business residence has to be in Athens County. But then we can look at other partners and see how we can take that and what we call capital stacking. How you can hang on to that $3,000 and use that as seed money to maybe get a micro loan. If you need $10,000 or $12,000, this can be that upfront money to help you get that next level of loan into the bank for you. So this is a new, for us, we did IDA many years ago, but it's coming back around, and we're excited about the opportunity. If you fall into that category and you're interested in participating, like I said, I know I got, I think, 2 slots left that we've kind of got to fill by June, so that we get everything in by the end of the year. But it's also interesting, if it's something that we have more interest in, more opportunities, you know, we can go back and talk to our partners and see if we can't increase the opportunities available for folks. So, called an Individual Development Account Program with merchants, with ACEnet, and with Christ Lutheran Church here in Athens. So, yeah, please check in with me, and we'll see if we can't figure out, because there's other things, you gotta have earned income, but it can't be much. So there's other things that qualify. I got a sheet somewhere around here with me, but we'd be glad to talk to you further. So Avery, you're now get to give the multimedia pitch for what ACEnet does for some of our clients.
Hello, I'm Avery. I'm a multimedia designer at ACEnet, and like many of you, I've also worn many hats, just as an artist, an entrepreneur, a farmer, and most recently I worked in the natural food industry as the marketing specialist for Kindred Market for the last 2.5 years. So I've been with ACEnet since January, and it feels very serendipitous because I have a deep knowledge of a lot of different areas a lot of our clients are working in. So it's nice to have an understanding that goes beyond design. So I'm here to help you with logos, package design, business cards, even websites. We have a lot of different things that we offer. If you go to our website, there's a full list on there. And most recently, I just started offering SEO optimization, so that's search engine optimization, which is really important for businesses because Google is king, and you want to make sure that your business shows up on the first page of search results. And it's very complicated and hard world to navigate, so hopefully I can help some people with that. I'm also offering a branding service, so if you're new, or even if you're not a new business, but you need some branding guidance, I'm there to help you with that. We offer really affordable prices because our targets are low to middle income businesses. And just come find me and get a business card if you'd like to set up an appointment. I'm also going to be offering free headshots right after this during the networking break. So come find me if you would like to get a headshot. And yeah, so just the stuff playing in the background is just some examples of things that me and previous designers have done for clients as far as label design, logos, print brochures, annual reports, whatever you need. Just ask me and I'll help you. So, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Avery. Another great addition. Yep, and for our friends in Meigs County, we got the trifold for the Pomeroy Merchants Association. So, what we do, I think, is aside from the graphic design work, because there's so many other ACEnet staff members probably working with you at different ends of your business, we work as teams. So a lot of the food labels, for instance, Adam Cody, our food ventures or enterprise coordinator, he might help folks in terms of some of the ingredients or the nutrition facts panel that might go on a label. But then Avery or one of the other staff members might, help you think about your social media presence, your logo, label design, you name it. So, we also work with all our friends. It might be the OU, Small Business Development Center. It might be other for-profit graphic designers. So a lot of times our door is going to open many other doors in terms of your marketing and branding needs as well if you start with us. So we're going to take a networking break now. This is your opportunity now to connect with one another. Maybe connect with some of our presenters so far this morning. As Michelle said, she has her calendar with her. I know I'm thinking acupressure. I'll sign up for that. So thank you all. Enjoy your break. Lunch will, I think, be served
11:30ish.
11:30ish. Again, it will be a buffet line. So now's your time to enjoy one another.